Isn't that something? Now I'm going to fade in. Good morning. I'm Tom Basie. Thanks for joining us on the Network Breakfast here on YouTube channel. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to let each of our members introduce themselves and tell us something about themselves. And we're going to start with Mike Bentley. Good morning, Mike Bentley.
Good morning to all. I'm Mike Bentley, and I work at the Brooks and Stafford Company. We're a full-service insurance agency. We've been around since 1849, and I can assist you with your insurance needs from anything from bonding to personal health insurance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike. Okay, now we're going to move on to Lee Jackson. Good morning, Lee.
Good morning, Tom. Good morning, everybody. Beautiful day in mid-August. My name is Lee Jackson. I am representing today Right at Home. Right at Home is an organization that wants to keep our senior citizens safe, happy, and healthy in the environment that they are in. Wherever that might be, we want to provide activities of daily living, anything we can do by driving them to doctor's appointments or hospital appointments, whatever they need to go to get to keep them safe and happy at home. We provide a lot of companionship services. We actually walk dogs. We will do whatever it takes, grocery store shopping, a little bit of light housekeeping, but mostly what we do is to prevent people from falling down and make them be safe in their own environment, because we know that aging in place is the best way to grow old in an environment. So again, Lee Jackson with Right at Home, and the right services at the right place at the right time. Thank you very much.
Very good, Lee, and thanks for all you do. Our community certainly needs you and people like you. Okay, good morning to Rob Lord on the lanai of the palatial estate of the Lord residence. Good morning.
Good morning. How is everybody? Haven't been on for a few weeks. I've had some changes. I am now with Vivant Financial. Ooh. It's a fraternal benefit society. It's a full-service investment and insurance agency where we handle all your investment, retirement, and needs like that, from college planning to retirement. So I'm still getting up and running there, but there was a couple weeks I couldn't say anything because of compliance, the FINRA and the SEC. So,
wow, that's exciting. That's great.
And my drive now is no longer 40 minutes; it's 5 minutes to my office.
Wow,
here in Mentor.
Even better. Okay, congratulations on your move, and best of luck with that. And I'll have to get all your particulars so we can include them on the comment section below our video here. Okay. And thank you for joining us this morning, Rob Lord. And now we're going to say good morning to Marty.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Marty Kelbel, as Tom said, and I work for Coldwell Banker Schmidt Realty, and I can help you find your dream home, regardless of what that may be. Downsizing or right sizing because the kids went off to college and you don't want them to come back, or you're getting older and you don't want to do the stairs, so you want to rent. I can also make referrals around the world, all 50 states and around the world. I can help you find your new neighbors. You got a friend or relative you want to move in next door to you or down the street, I can help you do that. If you want to buy investment property, I can help you do that also. So whatever your real estate needs may be, let me know. I can help you with that. 216-544-4164.
Excellent. Thank you, Marty, and thanks for coming in. I appreciate it a lot. Okay, now we're going to say good morning to Chris Walters. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, everybody. Chris Walters with See-Through Windows. I provide vinyl replacement windows, glass block, and we work with general contractors, real estate investors, property management companies in northeastern Ohio. Right now, with this COVID, it's just amazing the people who are buying and selling houses. and we're really against the wall. The manufacturers are having problems getting our material. We're now 2 and 3 weeks out where we were 1 week. So if you're looking to do anything, please plan ahead. We're in the middle of September right now, and most people don't think about. They call me and go, "Well, can't you do it this week or next week?" I goes, "We're in the middle of September," and they're panicking. So please think ahead. We need your help. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Chris. Okay. And now, last but certainly not least, is your friend and mine, Jeff Hexter. Good morning, Jeff.
Morning, Tom. I'm Jeff Hexter with Always Keep Computing. I work with overwhelmed small office users who are suffering with Windows weirdness and Macintosh messiness from all of the recent OS updates and want to return to a productive, safe work environment. Recently, I've been helping a small medical practice that works in an office 1 day per week implement a temporary Wi-Fi network using only a cellular hotspot. It turns out this was the most cost-effective and efficient solution for their special situation. And I would love to work with the home-based travel agents, so I can help them get their email properly working and help them position themselves for the future vacation demand when this pandemic is all over. Jeff Hexter, Always Keep Computing. We pull out our hair so you don't have to.
Excellent. Thank you, Jeff. I have a couple of questions. One is, Jeff, do you mainly use Mac machines or Windows machines?
I mainly use Windows, but I also support Mac users, and you can't see behind me, but I have a large collection of Macintosh in my basement. I don't know it's not like they're moving around back here, but I collect old computers, so I've got a lot of old Macs. I was an Apple student rep in college. That was fun.
Wow, sure, nice. Okay. That's it. Okay, now I'm going to share my screen. The topic for today was Windows 10 is 5 years old. Can you believe it? We've gone 5 years since machines first were delivered with Windows 10. And I was just mentioning earlier that a lot of the machines that were delivered on July 29th, 2015, were Windows 8 or Windows 8.1 machines, or in some cases, Windows 7, with a certificate for Windows 10, because they didn't, for whatever reason, they didn't plan it out good enough, or they didn't have enough PCs that they were able to install on a mass level, mass-produced PCs with Windows 10 on them. They eventually caught up, of course, but the majority of people at the time were trying to update, and they offered a free update for 1 year. And I was just mentioning to Jeff that it was something like 7 out of 10 of those updates did not go well. And in some cases, the machines were unusable. And it was because it wasn't explained. The updates should have been put off for 6 months or so. But what happened is you needed to have all Windows updates installed on Windows 7 or Windows 8 in order and successful. You have to go look at the Windows Update folder, and all your updates will be listed there. Well, who's going to do that? I can probably ask everybody here except Jeff, and nobody would have ever gone and looked and see if the updates were all done before they tried to do a Windows 10 update. And that's why they were not successful. They have since figured all of that out, and you don't have to have all the updates in, because the update file to Windows 10 takes care of all of that. So here we have been living with Windows 10 for 5 years. And I was wondering, before I share my screen, does anybody long for the days of Windows 7, or are you relatively happy with Windows 10? I mean, you may not be thrilled with it, but are we relatively happy with 10? You could just nod your heads.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah, okay. It is better than 7, and it's better than 8. 8 was an attempt to make it a universal install for tablets with no keyboards. And that's why the live tile window rather than the start button. So, and Windows 10, what they did was they put the live tiles hanging off of a start button. But most of us use icons on a desktop. Most of us do not dig in or drill down into the machine to find icons for Microsoft Word or Excel, which is another thing that we don't get much of. Windows 10 has free versions of all of that. And it was their infinite wisdom. It's sort of like Windows Defender. In the beginning, Windows Defender was very tepid, not very aggressive, and it didn't. And then you could say to yourself, well, what do you expect? It's free. Well, now it's not bad for a free, but now it's way more robust, and it will protect your machine mostly, as long as you have your firewall up and you have safeguards in other ways. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to share the screen, and we're going to start with a wonderful Windows 10 logo. It'll get you sort of in the mood. So here goes. Let me see. We're going to say here, share screen, and I'm going to pick this here and say that, and then I'm going to say from the beginning. Okay, does everybody see that? I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was muted, yes.
Okay. All right. Usually I have window of us in the corner here, and it's not here, so I can't see anybody. All right. So Windows 10, it's been 5 years since Microsoft launched Windows 10. And it relatively, except for the first few months, 6 months, 7 months, it's been pretty good. Having Windows 10 installed, it's a much more robust operating system than 7 or 8 or certainly 8.1 was. Okay, it's been 5 years. The release date, as I said earlier, was July 29, 2015. My, how the time flies. Unbelievable. So what I'm going to do in this particular presentation is I'm going to talk about the tips of things that you can try in Windows 10 that were not available in earlier versions of Windows. And I'll hit this so I don't have to guess what they are. Okay. All right. How to use Windows 10 latest features. All right. And that would be Quick Assist, Timeline, Snip, Find a Photo, Snap Apps, Talk to Type, PowerPoint, which is a free app, and others are available, and Pause Updates. For example, if you're into movie editing, or you're doing a bunch of songs, you're creating a song list, and you don't want Windows to update, and you don't have it set for when the machine's idle, you can actually pause the updates. It's an important thing, and I have the instructions on our window, on our panel that has the pause updates. So let's look at Quick Assist. We're just going to skim the surface. You're going to have to look into this stuff because we don't have quite that much time. Okay, Quick Assist. You can get or give technical help. Quick Assist lets you view or share a computer and help someone from anywhere. And you'll see up here, it says enable 2 people to share a computer over remote connection that one person can help solve problems on the others. And you know, both Jeff and I, we solve other people's problems, and this could be a real advantage to have. And that this is part of the operating system, Windows 10. So we don't have to look around for all the names of those other programs that allow you to share, like fast support, or what's a couple of the other ones, Jeff, that you can use to log into somebody else's computer.
I use LogMeIn and TeamViewer.
Yeah, TeamViewer, LogMeIn, excellent, thank you.
I've got like a half dozen other ones on my computer too.
Yeah. Well, with Windows 10, bang, you're right there without any extra software. Okay. So now, here's the timeline. You can return to past activities. So earlier in the day, today or yesterday, you can, if you did something or went somewhere on the internet, you could see we have a Microsoft Edge page, plus you had Paint open and you did a couple of things, and there's a bunch of other things below that you could scroll where it says earlier today. You can actually scroll down and look at all the things that you did, and you could go back to them so you don't have to really remember everything you did. To open your timeline, select Task View on the taskbar or press the Windows logo key plus a tab. You scroll down until you find the things you want to return to, and then click it to pick up right where you left off. It's sort of like using your browser and going in the history of today, of last week, last month, sort of like that. Only this is everything you did on your computer. It will catalog all of that and allow you to look at it using timeline. I think that's a nice one. Okay, here's another one that might help you out. If you're on the screen, for example, and you have a bunch of contact information, phone numbers, email addresses, snail mail address, if you have like a street address or somebody's picture with the address, you can actually, instead of typing it or saving the image, you can just take a snip of what's on the screen. You can press the logos key plus the shift key plus S to open the snipping bar, then drag the cursor. You can drag that little highlighted area over the area you want to capture. The area you snip will be saved to your clipboard, so you could paste it into an email, you can paste it into a document of some sort. It's really, it's like a screen capture, only with a designated area that it goes to. I think this could be valuable so that you don't have to like run for a pen. You could just, if you get to a website, you have somebody's picture there with not only is their picture, but a little bio. You can actually grab that, and that'll be your introduction to them. And you could just use snippet and snip that like that, and look how good that would be. All right, here's another one. These are nice. Okay, find a photo fast. You can search your photos for a person, place, thing, and text. You can also find favorites in specific files or folders. Photos add tags for you so you can find what you want without endless scrolling. So you have like 900 photos. This is going to remember a person or a place. I don't know. Apple has been doing that with their phones. If you take a picture of something, it will actually remember where that picture was taken and the date and the time. And you could look it up in that way. Well, this is sort of like that. This will take advantage of when the photo was taken, where it was taken, things like that. So you could look for a photo without actually remembering what the photo was called. This is very handy for those that take a lot of pictures and store them on their desktops or on the, Windows 10 is meant for not only desktops, but a fancy little thin laptop called a Surface, which is an excellent choice. Some of the high-end Surfaces are as expensive as Apple MacBook Airs can be, $3,000 or $4,000. You could buy a Surface that does all of that, and it has all of these features plus Windows 10. Okay, go on to the next one. Okay, this is Snap Apps side by side. If you grab that image, the blue image, with your mouse and smash it into the image that says Redmond, Washington, 66 degrees, you can select any open window, then drag and bounce it against the side of your screen, and all other windows that you have open will appear on the opposite side. Select a window to have it fill the open space. It just allows you to keep everything open, and yet you can concentrate on one app and fill the screen with it, and they're all still there. I think this is valuable. It makes it easier to minimize, maximize, which we've been doing in Windows and or Macs for years. It's called Snap Apps. Okay. All right, here's one that a lot of us should do. Talk to type. How about that? So if you're going to type a letter, you're going to type an email, you just talk, you go in there and click on it and select, for example, you can see what it says, talk instead of type. On the touch keyboard, you select a microphone, and on a physical keyboard, press the Windows logo key and H to dictate what's on your mind. You just start talking, and it's going to put those words on the page. How's that? I mean, I was never a good typist, so this would help me. To be honest, I've never used this feature, but I never used it even on my my iPhone. Never did. And I know that a lot of people do. They do texting by talking. So anyway, talk instead of type. Talk to type on Windows 10. It's a nice feature, really nice. Okay, speaking of nice features, for those of us that have been buying Microsoft Office all these years, you can have PowerPoint as an app download in the Microsoft Store. I'm not sure why they're doing that, but PowerPoint, apparently PowerPoint, this is the only one that that Microsoft lists. But as I peeled back all the information, you could get a version of Word, you could get a version of Excel, and it's just for you to use. I'm not sure what has changed, because I know people still go out and buy, and you can still buy Microsoft Office, or in most cases, people are getting what they call Office 365, which are online versions. But the online versions, as well as the local app, PowerPoint, are still free. You can use them. So anyway, create a beautiful presentation, enter your content in PowerPoint, and get suggestions for your presentation. You want to change the design, then select design ideas, and you can see other options. So it'll help nudge you into creating wonderful looking presentations and designs, and you can use them for all sorts of things. Once you have a PowerPoint presentation, you can create a movie with that. You could do banners with that, because it allows images and text over images, which is what all of that does. So anyway, PowerPoint is a free app on Windows 10. It's great. Okay, and now here's that last one that I talked about earlier. Pause your updates. You can take control of your PC updates, and Jeff is going to expound on this. That's why I put it here, so Jeff can take over. You can pause your updates until it's a convenient time. To temporarily delay updates for your device, go to Start, Settings, Update and Security, and Windows Update, and then select Pause Updates. Once you reach the pause limit, you'll need to get the latest updates before you can pause again. So this way, it won't get in your way. It won't take up bandwidth. If you're on wireless and you have a limited internet speed, it won't take up all of your download space. So you can take your updates and you can take control of them rather than Windows. And I think that's always a good thing when you have control. And what they've done is they've made it so that Windows 10 updates come about twice a year, and they're no longer done in service packs. They're done as just a update, and they change the version. They issue numbers like 2401 or something like that, and so that you can follow along of what version of Windows 10 you have. But I understand that showing a downside, or maybe not total downside, but I know Jeff has something to say about our updates for Windows 10. Are you ready to do that, Jeff?
No, not really, no. All right, I'll talk about it. I mean, when you asked me about this last night, you asked if I had anything to add, and
yes.
Microsoft, they still do what's called Patch Tuesday, the second Tuesday of the month, where they do bug fixes, and they've had consistently large numbers of patches being released on the second Tuesday of each month, fixing the many bugs that have been discovered every month. There's a huge bug bounty system out there for people that get paid for discovering flaws in Windows and other Microsoft products, and then they try to push those fixes out so that people don't get taken advantage of by the bad guys. But they've also been pushing features, major feature changes into Windows 10 about every 6 months. Starting, actually, I have a list on my phone because I can't keep track of all these. when the original version came out in July 29th, they had what was called the anniversary update in 2016, or version 1511. Then there was version 1607. In 2017, there was version 1709. The creators update is what they called it. In April of 2018, they had the April update, they called it. And then October of 2018 was the October update. They have great names for these. And then in April of 2019, there was the April update. Then there was another update, and that was version 1903. And then there was another update in 2019 called the 1909 update. And then lately, they have the 2004 update. So it's called Windows 10 2004 or 2004, because it was supposedly supposed to probably be out in April of 2004, and they're still pushing it out right now. So some machines are running version 1909, some are running 1903, some are running the older versions, but everybody's eventually going to be pushed into the current version of 2004. And even that version, you'd think they'd get this right, but Microsoft has not been doing a good job of testing these major updates against a lot of different hardware, and people are finding problems on very new machines and on very old machines when they do these updates, partly because, well, I'm going to guess it's because Microsoft did something to gut their testing system, because these are the sorts of things they really have to get right. They're pushing these onto how many millions of machines. They can't afford to have even a small percentage of issues, because that's a lot of people when they have that. And these issues have been people losing all their data. So it may be that before you take one of these major updates, it makes a lot of sense to do a disk image backup. And you can talk with Tom or with me about how that gets done. Or you can take your risks and put the update on your machine if you like to live dangerously. I personally encourage people generally to back up their data and do the updates, because besides adding those new features, they are fixing serious problems in the older versions. Almost every update includes multiple fixes for issues that will come to bite us. Every time Microsoft publishes one of these updates, the bad guys can immediately go download that and read through the code to see what they fixed, and know that anybody who's not running the fix is insecure. So it makes it very easy for the bad guys to take advantage of our computers when you don't have the updates, even though there's the risk of installing them. It's not a good situation. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah. I have two backup drives that have RAID mirroring that allows 2 drives in each, so that's how all my files, all my data files are on those 2 terabyte external hard drives.
They're not on your main boot drive?
My machines in the documents folder are just peripheral stuff, like maybe notes or things I've typed up, but everything that means anything to me is on my 2 external hard drives, so that if anything happens to the machines, they lock up. I just get another machine or put a new hard drive in, and I'm just reinstall my apps, and I'm up and running again in a few hours. So
similar.
That's how I handle it, instead of using Carbonite or OneDrive, or there's a bunch of others that people love, and I just use RAID 1 mirroring on 2 external hard drives, and that because there's nothing like backup. You have to, whether you're updating your machine or not, you got to back your data up, because you don't want to get in a jackpot. If you have invoices that you've invoiced somebody, and you have 1 copy of that invoice in the My Documents folder, and your hard drive seizes up, you're done. And you have to, recreate it, or maybe I know some people who don't want to do that. They print everything out and put it into a file folder. And they have like a room full of file folders, so that everything they have is printed out, so they could go to it by name or date or job. But that's not the modern way of doing it. Backing up and using your external hard drive That's the way to do it. And I appreciate Jeff adding that. And I'm going to move to the last frame for our presentation for this particular thing. And we'll say, where am I? Oh, wait. Ta-da! So I appreciate your kind attention. I'm going to stop sharing the screen and we're going to go back and we'll talk about what we just looked at. Okay, so now, there we are. We're back. Da-da-da-da. Okay, so we have, I noticed that Brandon.
Looks like he's muted.
I actually, I don't see him now.
He's here.
Let me see.
Rob,
Oh yeah. Hey, Brandon. Okay, now you're on a bus or
I was going to be on the plane, but I refused to wear a mask.
I don't know. Hum a few bars. I'll see if I can fake it. I was going to take a plane, but I refused to take a mask. Da, 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 da.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I didn't know I'd pay that kind of price, but you don't know what you do till you do it.
Right.
Sometimes.
Well, it's nice of you to show up. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I was on my way to Nashville and Southwest. Wanted support. They said if I didn't put the mask back on my face while I was sitting in my seat, I couldn't ride, and so I'm riding the RTA.
Okay. And what happened to the plane ticket? Did you do skip lag?
No, I guess they'll put it to my account if I ever choose to use Southwest again, which they are the best. I mean, the kindest people to ever kick you off a plane in your life.
Southwest. Well, let's ask the professional. Hey, Mike, is Southwest the best? We just lost him. Hey, Mike.
I was going to see Mike. I called Mike's son yesterday. I was going to go see him.
Something happened. Now there's no video and he's got the audio off.
He's got a good thing going with those flights. He might not want to be associated with me right now.
Okay, Mike. So I was asking you, Mike, if Southwest is the best.
Southwest gives you the best customer service. Absolutely. I'll be flying Southwest on Sunday, or actually on Saturday, coming back to Cleveland as I am driving to Nashville on Thursday.
You're kidding me. You know, tell Southwest to fly me out there private.
You got to have a mask on.
Not if it's private.
Oh. I don't know if Mike has that kind of clout.
This is a mask. You don't see my shield? I have a shield. You don't see it? It's a shield of faith.
I don't think anybody's buying it, Brandon.
No, it is.
Remember what they say.
The
mask is for everybody else.
Yeah, well, everybody else had a mask on.
Bingo.
So, Brandon, are you on your way to Nashville now?
Well, I don't know if it's what it is, but no, I was on a plane, Southwest, and I had it off of my nose, and they gave me a hard time, so I took it off, sat down, and they kicked me off the flight because I refused to wear the mask. So. Well,
you're a regular Marlon Brando, aren't you?
I don't know what I am at this time. I know whose I am.
He was a motorcycle hoodlum.
Yeah, what's wild was I was going to be there, God willing. I would have been there till Saturday. I was going to be there till Saturday. Thank you. But yeah, I was really looking forward to this trip, but I felt like I just rolled with my convictions on this one, whether people agree with it or not. It's what I believe was the right thing to do.
Well,
and I don't think anybody was in danger. Nobody was even close to me in a row or anything.
Okay.
And it didn't matter if I had a medical condition or not either.
Well, I was doing that too until Costco said, you can't come in without a mask.
Yeah.
And there's things in there that I could only get at Costco. So
Yeah, I know.
even if
Yeah, I
I'm a
know.
man of my convictions, I got to put a mask on to get in there. And
No, I
now
think yeah.
we have to put a mask on to get anywhere. So you can be convicted all you want. You got to put a mask on until that's over. No matter what side of the fence you're on politically, you gotta put a mask on.
Who would have thought it'd be legal to go into a bank with a mask on?
Well, when somebody finally robs a bank with one of these masks on, they're going to say you can't wear a mask in the bank. I mean, you know,
I didn't rob. Yeah.
It's unintended consequences.
Hey,
And now,
Tom or Jeff, I have a question about your presentation.
Absolutely.
I don't know if this is part of this, but I've been getting a message when I log in on my computer, laptop, says this Wi-Fi network uses
not secure.
owner security standard that is now being phased out. We recommend connecting to a different network.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
You're probably using what's called a WEP connection.
Wired
equivalency protection. And that is an old, and it's not very secure. So it's WEP on your Wi-Fi. So you either have to check and see if your Wi-Fi can do the newer secured connection, or you'll have to get another router.
Well, it's from AT&T, you know, the 2-wire 419 isn't secure, it says.
Well, they've been making 2 wires since the 90s. So the name 2-wire, you could find one, you know, with all dust on it, and you know that's been in service for a long time.
That's what I'm using now.
Yeah, and you're at home with a 2-wire.
Yeah.
Well, if it were me, and I would call AT&T, because they probably would rather have you have a different one anyway. Because if it's a 2-wire from 10, 12 years ago, you're not getting the kind of speed or the security that you can with a brand new 3-way router, gateway, switch.
Well, I've been complaining to them about the speed, and it never mentions upgrading it, so I don't know.
Well, you got to do the thinking for them. You say it's time for a new router, gateway, switch.
Okay.
AT&T's been having a lot of problems all over.
Yeah. You know, speaking of AT&T, I've been looking for getting a new phone system at the office, and the budget's not an issue. And do you know, every place I call, they're, you know, like AT&T, they haven't called me back yet. And what they do is they point you toward their website that you order phones and they send them. And then you get the box with, I'm going to get a box with 10 phones in it. And what? You just plug them all in and it's going to work. You know, in the old days when you had like a PBX sort of system where the guy comes out and he screws a bunch of hardware on the wall with 5 million wires. And then he plugs everything in, and then you get a dial tone with 4 lines coming in the building. Okay, well, apparently they don't do that anymore for small businesses. 4 lines, 10 station. So I don't know. I guess I got to learn another business, phone installation, because Spectrum doesn't do it. All they do is digital phone lines. Verizon doesn't do it. Sprint doesn't do it. So I called AT&T, and they said, yeah, we have business phones, but go online and order them. Oh, okay. What I need is a, what did they used to call them? Like a account executive? Does anybody have any recommendations for communication account executives?
I move off of plain old telephone service and go to digital phone lines. Go to voice over IP. Then you can get an account executive on those people.
Yeah, voice over IP. Well, that would require rewiring all the rooms, all the offices, because right now they're wired for AT&T phone lines. You know, you plug it in and you get 4 lines coming in. Everybody's phone rings. It's just that, I don't know, I'm going to have to start reading a manual that's like this thick. Or I got to get an account executive that's going to send the people out. So anyway, that's where I'm at. And I've been making phone calls and, anyway, it's good that they keep asking me to do stuff because, you know, it's COVID-19 time. Okay, anybody got any questions about Windows 10? So we're basically happy with it, and maybe you guys could look this video over again and get some of the tips and try to use them for what you do. If you get that involved in presentations, and maybe if you take a lot of photographs and you want to find them to print, you can use any one of those tips and tricks. And I'm so happy that I was able to bring that, and I'm doubly happy that Jeff was able to contribute. I appreciate that so much. And all of us can stay right here. And for YouTube, I'm going to say, we'll see you again next Tuesday, but for our men, we're going to stay right here. We have a few more minutes to wrap this up. So thanks so much.